My name is Carlos Andres Sesia. I graduated as an architect in 1995 in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Since then, I moved to Miami Beach just for fun. I'm still here, and from that moment, since then, I was more interested in art than developing architecture. But I guess it's something that is due in my future. So for the moment, I'm still creating art. And in the near future, I think I'll be doing architecture. In essence, what inspired me is to find the invisible behind the visible, is to find the structure that give force to whatever we see has a manifestation of something. I always try to look, what is the previous step? What manifests that in essence? So basically, what I'm trying to find is what most of the people cannot see, or what isn't the self-evident. And I like to point out that what is mostly unperceived. When I was referring before about the power of the invisible, this is a clear example how from an ordinary object like a dollar bill you can see more than is in front of your eyes. Like if you, in this case I use the reverse of the dollar bill because it's like seeing the dollar bill from inside to outside. And then you can see that the way it's designed, you can accommodate the whole Parthenon, the front of the Parthenon in that structure, at the same time that the dollar bill represents a religious structure in a way. That's why on one side we have the Parthenon building, I place in that side. On this side is Wall Street, which is the same structure basically. So there are a lot of symbology here and a lot of meaning. Or a computer part who also have 13 parts, which is part of the same structure that is embedded in the dollar bill in all the details that I can show you later in other works. About the evolution of my art, I can see a pattern that is always going the same direction. If I'm trying to paint, just do a painting, it's like the painting is claiming to be 3D for some reason. I always, probably my training as an architect, I always tend to give shape to any creation that I'm working with. So all my artwork has a tendency to become 3D. From a simple canvas, it began to have that 3D that is almost in every single work that I do. It's always an element that it has to be over the 2 dimensions. And I think my art keep evolving in the sense that I think at the end I will transfer all my experience through art, and I will try to converge that with architecture. Like I think is where my art is leading me, and that will be the final step of my evolution in that sense. The way I feel about the changes and the evolution of the artwork is like I'm always expecting to reach a next dimension, probably with this idea of reaching a dimension. I'm always thinking about for the expression of the work to reach out and communicate something. So if my artwork doesn't reach that next dimension, I feel like it's not done yet, even if it seems to be complete. Of course, an artwork is never complete, but if it doesn't transmit anything, or at least I see to create a thought, for me is not finished. So the feeling, of course, is always going to be that it's not complete, because it's impossible to transmit something 100%. But it's always a challenge to do the best, of course. The way I perceive the changes on the evolution of my artwork is It is a mix because I always don't follow a path where I consider the evolution from A to C. It's just like I can go from A to B and B to H and H to T. In different artworks, I have different composition, different techniques, and I always go back and forth between different techniques. And I'm always trying to create something new I never experimented before. So I don't think I have a linear path in the evolution of my work. It's just a way of going back and forth until I found the element that is important for that artwork and keep going from there. But I don't think I have an evolution, except for the clear path that my work tends to be more sculptural at the end. About the future of my art, I believe it's going to be more architecture oriented, but with a higher respect for the planet during the design conceptions. Of course, these models are made based on computer parts, so that's not what I want to achieve in real life. But it gives me a clue about what is not to be done. But I'm thinking the future of my artwork will be totally organic forms. Not so many right lines and right angles. It's just more fluidity. That's what I see in the future of my work. About the natural environments I was using, you can see in my artworks in the beginning a lot of computer parts. That's a way to make peace with the environment and use those materials not only just as a tool to reuse them and give it another use, but also to allow us to question our principal medium of communication during this era, during this interesting time that we are going through. So I want to use computer parts, or keep using computer parts as a way to reflection the ways that we are creating at the same time that we are creating these tools of communication that are so important to us in this historical moment. But my art is more universal oriented. All the things that I want to create, or all the things that I would like to share are more universal oriented. Has to do with more cosmopolitan point of view. In this case, I keep showing the details behind the structure of the dollar bill. There are all archetypes that they were twisted and used in a different way. As you can see, also is a collage that began to grow in terms of thickness and is becoming more like a 3D model than a flat collage. In this artwork is part of the series The Unconscious Code, and it's named Thinking About the Manipulation of Time. I imagine Jesus trying to explain to his disciples about the fake equation between time and money. So, because we know, with time we can create money, but not all the money in the world can create a single second. That's why I was trying to show this fake equation between time and money. And also we find the reference of the seals from the Federal Reserve Banks in correspondence with the same number than the disciples and Jesus. And also at that time I didn't know I was talking about the digitalization of money in the way that we know it today, like cryptocurrencies. That is going to be the new system.